Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, you know I got my love for you guys. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. Okay, do consider subscribing, check out my other videos, and I'm very sure you will find them very interesting, educative, informative, enlightening. And if you have suggestions for me, please drop it in the comment section. Today I'm talking about toxic parenting style that new mothers, new parents, new fathers should leave behind, like should live with their parents. You know, people went through a lot while growing up. The method of parenting back then was very, well, people will call it toxic now, but I feel like it molded some people up and changed their life. Like, it helped them be who they are right now in life, which has worked out well for them, and for some other people it didn't work out well for them. So what do you think, guys? Should you do you think that is right for new parents to adopt the parenting style of our parents? If that makes sense. So one thing that I know that it's not good is comparing your child with someone else's child, or comparing your child with your other children. Like, comparing one child of yours with another child, I mean, that is a very bad thing to do. It actually brings down the self-esteem of that child, right? If that child grows up to always being compared, that child will never see that what he or she is doing is good, or he's even making progress, or he's growing, because you always see that, oh, people are doing better than he or she is doing, and that could mess the person up mentally and psychologically, which is not good, you know. And it could lead to depression at that child's early stage of life, you know. So please do not compare your child with another person. You know, if a child is doing well, commend the child. If the child is not doing well, you can help the child. You know, there are ways that you can help your child do better. I mean, everybody's not the same thing. Some people are slow learners, some people are fast learners, and some people are just, you know, average learners. You know, if your child falls in the category of children that they are slow in learning, just try to be patient with them. So one thing that motherhood has taught me is patience. I don't even feel like I'm still patient enough. I feel like I'm still growing, I'm still getting there, because trust me, you are not patient until you have a child. You are not patient until you start taking care of older ones. You are not patient until you have responsibilities. You need to experience some certain things in life for you to know how patient you are. And one of those is having kids. When you have children, that would test your patience. Like, all this while, if you've been saying that, oh, I'm patient, though, I know how to wait, though, when you have children, we know whether you have patience or not. So yeah, before I deviate, don't compare your child. Number two is always, maybe your child does a mistake, or your child fails at something, and then you're making it a topic of discussion with maybe your friend, or maybe your family relatives, or somebody else. Your child's mistake, I think, is also relating to never comparing your child anyway. I don't know, but when your child makes mistake, or your child fails at something, maybe you're talking to a friend, or the friend, like, don't mind them, his mate is doing so well, I don't know why he just, no. And that's degrading. I mean, yes, this is a child, but you don't do that to children, or to anybody at all. Like, as a parent, you need to find ways that you can work in that area that the child is failing, or the child is making serious mistakes. You know, it's your responsibility. So patience still has to come in. So never you talk about your child's failures or mistakes with people, even with family members. It's not only disrespectful, yes, even though it's your child, but it's also demeaning. Another one is dismissing your child's emotion or mental health. You know, back then, when you feel sad or when you feel unhappy, most parents will be like, why you sad? You know, what did they make you the vex? They will even beat you on top of it. Like, if you try it, you know, maybe sometimes when we were angry back then, or when we were sad back then, we can decide not to eat. You know, we decide to just be like, oh, we want to go to bed hungry, and then our parents will be like, hey, if I beat you, and some parents will beat you, you will eat, you will be crying, and you'll be eating. You know, that was like torture. It's just normal and proper for the parents to call the child and say, what you have done is wrong, don't do it again. I know that the way I scolded you is not the best way as at this time, but Don't look at how I scolded you. You know, there are ways that you can just make the child feel very comfortable after scolding, or see his or her wrong after scolding. Have a conversation with your child. That is one thing that parents should always have at the back of their mind. Trying to have conversations with their child will help know what your child is thinking, how your child is feeling, what your child needs, the areas that your child needs to work on, or you as a parent need to work on to help that child grow as well. Another area that I feel like parents should work on, or parents can do better, is apologizing. See, it doesn't take anything from a parent if they apologize. I am sorry. What is there? What is there? Some parents will say, in fact, still, there are some parents that will never, it's as if they apologize, they will die. Why? Why can't you apologize? You've done something wrong, or you didn't know you were doing something wrong as at the time that you were doing it, and then later on you see that, oh, you did wrong, or maybe you scolded your child and you were not supposed to scold the child, or you screamed at your child, or you flogged your child, or you spanked your child, or you did something very annoying to your child and that made the environment very unconducive for the child, and then later on you find out that you overreacted. What's the best thing to do? Called you and said, I'm sorry, I overreacted, maybe I should have done better. How can we do better? Some parents will say, why you dey vex? So I me born you, I be your mama. I gave birth to you, I am your mother. You have no right whatsoever to be angry. Why are you angry? Come on, go and eat. Go and take food. I made food though. I made food in the kitchen. Go and eat. If you want to eat, I'll go and give to the dog. Another thing is allowing your child find his or herself. What that means is, if for example your child is about entering college, university, a parent should become so close to the child that you know your child's strengths and weaknesses. You know that some parents that will say, I want my child to be an engineer, I want my child to be an accountant, I want my child to be a doctor, I want my child to be a nurse. What if your child wants to paint? What if your child wants to be an interior decorator? What if your child wants to be something that the world or the society doesn't see like is big, you know? What if your child wants to become that? And what if it's through your child that particular field will now become so known? You never can tell. So gone are the days where you say, my child must be an engineer, I am an engineer, you know, engineers have money, my child must be a lawyer, you know, my child. Gone are those days, man. Because sometimes you push these children into doing what you want them to do, and then they become useless at the end of the day. And you hear some people say, I did this for my dad, I did this for my mom. How about they themselves? Like, do you actually, as a parent, do you care about their feelings, their emotions, what they would like to become, what they would like to do, how they would like to, you know, how involved are you in your child's life? It's not just about you as a parent. It's not just about you being proud outside, like, my son is a doctor, my son is an engineer. Like, my God, like, you can also be proud saying, my son is a painter, or my son is a beautician, my son is something, you know, like, and he's doing so well for himself. As long as that person is doing so well, he knows his or her work, that should be it. People should love what they do, grow to love something and learn it, so that when you are learning it, despite the fact that there might be challenges, you still see that person scaling through, pushing forward and all that. So parents, please, if you fall in the category of parents that will decide what their child will be in the future, I don't know whether it's good or bad. I feel like it's bad, because I feel like you should have a conversation with your child. What interests you? Do you want to be a pilot? Do you like flying? You should know pick interest in what your child likes, so that you can read about it, study about it, see how the child can do better in that field, except it's something that is not legal, and which of course you will not expose your child to something that is not legal, right? So watch out for that area as well. Then parents should not argue in front of their children. Yes, don't argue no matter what, even though you get to that point where you are so angry, you're having misunderstanding with your spouse, all you want to do is to scream and shout, and your child is looking at you. Just see what I just did. It works wonders. If you've not been doing it before, try it. You see what I'm telling you? It works magic. When you are in that space or in that mood of you want to shout, you want to scream, just do that deep breathing exercise. I used to have road rage. I think I still have road rage. Like when I'm on the steering, when I'm driving. I'm not proud saying it to guys, but if I'm driving and do anyhow, I will. There was a time I used to say that if I had those irons on my car, there are some cars that you see that have those, I don't know what they're called, have those protective irons just in case somebody hits them from behind or at the front or by the side. It protects the car, not from denting. I used to wish that I had a car like that, so that anybody that misbehave, I would just jam. Whether it's keke or whether it's boss, I would just jam the person. I used to have that mindset because driving is one of my favorite hobbies, but it can be annoying as well. So sometimes I just not today, Satan. Jehovah, please help me. And I just go and I feel better. I avoid unnecessary talks or banter with Agberus. You should avoid arguments, heated arguments, quarrels in front of your kids, because it can affect them as well, and that's not a good one. That's not a good one. So whenever you're having misunderstanding with your spouse or argument, you can just quickly, before I feel like when you're having an argument with your spouse, you will know if it will become heated, because you are the one that will make it become heated or not. So you either just say, can I see you in the room, or tell your children, can you excuse me and daddy for a moment? And then when they excuse you, you can do all the nonsense you want to do, but don't scream so they don't hear that you're screaming. Just try to make sure that you make better decisions so that it doesn't affect the children. Also, teach your children that house chores is for everybody, whether male or female. There's no daddy in the parlor washing film, children in the garden playing ball, mommy in the kitchen cooking rice. There's nothing. Rubbish total rubbish. Teach your children, whether male or female, when you are in the house, clean, cook, clean your environment. If you are alone, you cook, you make food for yourself. Yeah, you cook for yourself. You wash, do the laundry, wash your car, clean everywhere, make everywhere look neat, everywhere look nice. Don't come and teach one child that you're supposed to be washing car, then your sister is supposed to be in the kitchen cooking food. I know that society has made it women are supposed to be in the kitchen, and men are supposed to be out there working for money. Man, gone are those days, gone are those days. Now, you can. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but there's nothing wrong in teaching both genders each role. Your girl child can wash cars. She can clean the environment. Your boys can cook. They can go to the markets. I mean, when these children grow old enough to leave your house, when they become bachelors and spinsters, they go to the market, they cook. They'll be able to manage themselves, manage their resources instead of just spending it, and everything. It doesn't change the fact that if you have the resources to outsource these things, you cannot do it. So you can do it. Cleaning, cooking, they have chefs in their house, they have cleaners and all that, they have gardeners. It's good. If you can do it to reduce stress. But every now and then, make sure that you tell them when you get up from your bed, lay your bed. When your environment is dirty, clean it. Don't wait for the cleaner, don't wait for the chef to come and cook. Go in there and prepare something. When you teach them these things, they grow up and they become better people. So yeah, I think parents can do better as well in that area. Parents can also create a safe environment for their children to speak up. Back then, when children try to speak up, mothers and fathers are so quick to say, keep quiet, don't say that. That's why there were so many pedophiles that time that we did not even know. It's even now that people are trying to come out to say this one is a child abuse. So there were so many child abusers. There were so many pedophiles that time. But because children that time will be scared of, mommy will beat me if I say uncle was touching my hair. Mommy will beat me if I say, parents were not listening to children. That was why people were getting away with these things. That's why so many adults now, they were molested, and they kept molesting them until please, if you're a parent, if you're a young parent, please be having conversations with your child. As soon as your child starts understanding or starts knowing bomb bomb, this is bomb bomb, Okay, you start teaching your child, oh, nobody touches this place. Okay, this is your bonbon, it's for you alone. If anybody touches, say stop, don't touch it, I will tell mommy, and immediately come and tell mommy. You know, when you start teaching that child right from infancy, I mean, like maybe when the child is like a year plus, some children are very fast learners, you know, they start understanding and talking on time. You keep telling them all the time. Before you know, they grow up, they start asking questions. Sex education with the scriptures, with Jehovah's backing, you bring up a very, very, very solid child, sweet child. So don't shy away from all these things. You know, draw your child closer to you. Make sure that you're your child's best friend. Now and then, spank your child. Though, you can spank. Me, I used to spank. Ha, me, I used to spank. I did beat. You do anyhow, you see anyhow. But then, on the other hand, I will still draw my child to me, like, come, don't do that again, okay? I will apologize, I'm sorry. Maybe I hit you too hard, but then don't do it again, okay? My child knows that this will make mommy angry, this will make mommy spank me, and this is also bad. I will not do it. So to avoid it, I won't do it. I can also go to mommy and tell mommy, oh mommy, can I? Oh mommy, is this good? You know, that kind of environment. Let your child be your best friend, not the one that they'll be scared of. If I tell my mommy will shout, or if I tell that dad is going to scream at me, or I don't know how to say it. That's why they'll go out there and go and learn bad things, and then you're gonna be blaming Satan. Satan is on his own sleeping, thinking of who he wants to go and deceive. You're not gonna be blaming him for the one that is not even caused. So parents, you have to do better, okay? Even though some of us or some people, their upbringing was hard, like some adults that you see today that are messed up is because of their upbringing, right? You can do better. You can tell yourself that you don't want your child to grow up in that environment that you grew up, so you want to do better. You work on it. You try to do better. Okay, nobody can father your child for you. Nobody can mother your child for you. You are the only person that can mother and father your child, right? Read books, go online, read the Bible, pray to God about it, and yeah, you do well as a parent. Okay, do not let people talk down on your children. You know, there's some people that will come and say, fat baby, so fat, or this one thing, this one not get flesh for body. Stop that person right there. Anybody that talks about your child like that in front of your child, stop that person right there, because that can affect your child. No, before you know, now the child will be growing up and the child will be like, I'm too fat, everybody is saying I'm too fat. No, you are fat and you're beautiful, you are bold. Or I'm too skinny. No, you're a model, come on. People want to be like you. Come on, girl. Come on, boy. You know, let them build that confidence, that courage. Never you talk down on your child. Never you let anybody talk down on your child. I'm sure when you do this and leave it in the hands of God, Jehovah is going to make your child solid. As in, when your child grows up, you look at your child and say, you beat your chest and say you did well with the help, with the backing of Jehovah. Don't you want to say that? So if you had a rough upbringing, try to create a safe environment for your children if you have children, and yeah, I'm very sure that you will benefit as a parent and you'll be grateful at the end of the day. Okay guys, so this is what I have to say today. I hope you did enjoy this video. What would you say? How was your upbringing? How was it for you when you were growing up? Was it, now would you tell me that's a toxic environment, or you would say it grew me to who I am today, but I would not like to bring up my child in that way? Maybe there's some little change that I would do. What would you say? I would like to know in the comment section. Please drop a comment, like the video too as well, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Okay guys, I will see you all in my next video. All right, bye.